We will come to the sections of the panels. Okay, we will discuss a lot in the ASEAN professional accountants. So we were talking about the opportunities. So I'm very proud that the panelists is really qualified and have a lot of experiences and maybe insight in the more perspective in the these topics. From the background, because of the AEC, so we have to know that the AEC is very important, and I think that it might believe that every countries in the world focus on this area. So and because AEC try to collaborate in any not only for the cultures but also for the economy as well. So any trading service businesses try to move and cooperate together in order to build the region to be the stronger partner in order to enhance our regions at ASEAN. Here I ask the Fern, as your expertise in maybe as employers, from your experiences, what is your perceptions about the opportunities for accountants in ASEAN?
For most of the people who are in Malaysia or are Malaysians, would probably have known that CIMB has kind of an regional outreach. CIMB has a blueprint that we have put ourselves out since a couple of years ago. We have a presence in Thailand, we have a presence in Singapore, Indonesia, and we are expanding to Vietnam and Philippines. So I think we haven't crossed out the 11 countries or the 10 countries yet. I think we are looking to move as an ASEAN bank. So I think having said that, as an accounting profession myself, and I've been in this profession for about more than 15 years, right? I think the opportunities for professional accountants like yourself are very much in demand. And I say this because I'm holding a financial function in CIMB, and I more often than not deal with my counterparts in, for example, Vietnam, Philippines, Indonesia, Singapore, and Thailand, and more often than not struggle. Right, struggle because I think a lot of the people are in the finance function lack the accounting professional qualification. So for me to have an intellectual conversation with Dr. Rauf is easy. But imagine having a discussion with our counterparts who is not professionally qualified. That's tough. I think I do recognize, as an employer and looking to expand, definitely do recognize plenty of opportunities for professional accountants like yourself. So I'm quite happy and pleased to hear that there's an initiative that's going around building the ASEAN CPA accreditation and recognizing the need for accountants in this region. So that's good. However, I think I do recognize that several challenges with respect to that. And for us in CIMB, I think we do recognize that there is a mobility requirement that we have. For Malaysia, I think we do recognize that, for example, there's a group reporting requirement, and a lot of that is driven by the accounting standards, and that accounting standards in this case is the Malaysian accounting standards, which incidentally is converged with the IASB requirement, so that's international accounting standards. So I think there is a need to move up that chain to be a little bit more IASB accredited, move towards that direction, and then there will be plenty of opportunities elsewhere. Right? So definitely acknowledge that from my experience, there's huge opportunities. I think in more countries like Vietnam, for example, finding accountants is difficult. I've gone through a series of interviews, would I say, seriously a challenge. So Vietnam is one case, and Thailand also difficult to find accountants. Maybe because I think CIMB maybe not a huge bank in Thailand, so we really do struggle. So I do support the cause to build the ASEAN CPA franchise. And I think for accountants, we do recognize that accountants need to move up that value chain. to be a little bit more strategic business advisors at some point. So I think with the fluid trade agreements and the move towards having a borderless community within ASEAN, that then increases that future for professional accountants.
Although you've introduced me as the Malaysian managing partner of EY, the reason why I'm here actually is my other role in EY ASEAN. I actually look after the assurance practice of EY ASEAN. So it'll be about 7,000 odd people across 10, 11 countries, about 200 odd partners in the assurance practice of this world. So my view is both sides. It's one from the demand for accountants. At the same time, I'm also probably the biggest supplier of accountants in the region. We're fortunate in a sense because I think in most parts of ASEAN, we probably have the largest number in most of the markets. Largest would probably be Philippines, where there's Philippine accountants here. So our SGD firm is very big there, very big business, professional accountancy. To the point about the opportunities, I think there's no secret. ASEAN is a very attractive economic region. At the same time, because of that, the AEC was introduced, blueprint came into place. A combined ASEAN economic community is looking at a total GDP of something like 2.7 trillion, one of the largest in the whole of Asia Pac. We have a growing population, generally pretty young population with significant opportunities for further economic development. We have currently about 650 million people, and it's growing very fast. So like what you mentioned, because of this expectation of significant economic growth in ASEAN, albeit at different pace. And then this is the classic one, the ASEAN economies. We have the likes of Singapore, which is basically a very developed economy. And we have the likes of Myanmar, which has come up and opened up their economy to the world, really. And we have the likes of even Vietnam, which probably just come up from the war a few years back. So, very interesting mixture, very diverse. And there lies, I think, the opportunity. Intra-trade, intra-ASEAN trade is very big. If we compare ASEAN inter-trade with the whole world versus ASEAN intra-trade, ASEAN intra-trade probably makes up about 25-30% of the total trade with the world. Which means that even if the whole world shuts down, there's still a significant intra-trade within ASEAN countries. And there lies, therefore, the opportunities for ASEAN. And like in any developing economies, in any economies where there are opportunities, accountants will need to play a very significant role. And I think Dr. Terry mentioned just now about the ratio of accountants per population in the whole of ASEAN. Singapore probably boasts the best number at around 1 to 150 or 180 or something to that effect, and it's probably growing. And many of those accountants are actually not Singaporeans either. Many of them are Malaysians who used to work with me and they've gone there to Singapore. But the rest of ASEAN, we are in Malaysia, and we think we've got a significant number of professional accountants, about 30,000 at the last check. And yet, I think our birth rate is probably higher than the rate of professional accountant we make. So therefore, we're always chasing that ratio, right? So Malaysia, I know we said 1,000, but I think it's probably slightly less than 1,000, probably about 800, 900. So it's still a long way to go. So if you look at CSAT, Malaysia, we are looking at a target of 60,000 accountants for the economy to get where we are. So I suppose point is having this ASEAN CPA as a starting point to our journey in making sure we have the right number of accountants for the ASEAN economy is a good start. Thereafter, I think the challenge is how do we make sure that having this ASEAN CPA will enable a more mobile talent within ASEAN, at least within ASEAN first. And of course, if we look at ourselves as ASEAN, our other concern is we want to make sure the talent is kept in ASEAN. So if we don't do something as ASEAN, the talent will likely go outside of ASEAN. And being, ASEAN, we are very marketable in many parts of the world, as you all know. So I'm speaking also from experience. I said we're not only a large firm with the demand for accountants, we're also one of the biggest supplier. So I look at, when I wear my ASEAN hat, when I look at attrition rate, or how many accountants I lose to outside the economy, there's two ways of looking at it. One is from each of the ASEAN country to another ASEAN country, and the other one is from ASEAN to the rest of the world. And there's always a concern that we're losing a lot of talent to the rest of the world as well if we don't do something within ASEAN.
And looking at regulating and developing the profession, as well as being from technical, maybe I will share in terms of the work that we have done in ASEAN and how that shed light into our discussion today. So I would like to touch on two opportunities. The first one is because of globalization. So if you look at regulation, a lot of countries have adopted or are in the process of adopting IFRS. Of course, that is MFRS here in Malaysia. Also, we talk about various countries adopting IFRS for SMEs, adopting the International Public Sector Accounting Standards. Those are for the public sector, as well as the auditing and ethics standards. So when we look at ASEAN, so for example, we are working with the World Bank Group in terms of the IFRS adoption in Lao PDR. So we look at the gap analysis, and what we found in that gap analysis, one of the major findings in terms of capacity building. So you have a number of listed companies in Lao, you have many banks in Lao, as well as insurance companies, and all of them really in need in terms of the IFRS experts. So this is really where I think one of the big opportunities for the accountants in ASEAN. So if you see, Malaysia has adopted IFRS back in 2012. So we are quite, probably I can say, quite an expert in terms of IFRS. Thailand has done it 2018 last year. Of course, Myanmar going to do it in 2022, 2023. Vietnam going to do it in 2020. Lao, of course, they haven't really decided when. So definitely a lot of opportunities for the ASEAN accountants. Alright, and then the second opportunity that I would like to touch about is on technology adoption. There's a report called Asian Development Outlook 2018, and they look at how technology affects jobs. And I think they talk about the 4 quadrants in terms of jobs automation. And I think one of the main point is if that particular job is routine, then there's a very big possibility that this will be replaced by machines. So if you are looking at bank teller in banks, right, or those working in manufacturing, these are jobs that will be replaced by technology. So what kind of jobs that will be there in the future, that we are really looking at those use cognitive as well as manual. So how do accountants can fit in? I think it doesn't only apply in Malaysia, it also applies to ASEAN. And we as MIA, we launched the Digital Technology Blueprint last year, and we really advocate and promote in terms of technology adoption among the accountancy profession in Malaysia. And I think, I believe that this should be the same at the ASEAN level as well.
It's very good and very insights about because of the globalizations for the standard that the regions we have to apply the international standard, right? So it's opportunities in order to fit and help some countries is maybe insufficiency professions in accountancy. So the assets can help together within the region in order to cooperation in order to build a stronger in the region. What is or are limitations that you think that for the accountants in ASEAN?
I think the first question or the first issue that we need to look at in terms of how fast that we can produce the accountants. Because of the experience that we have in ASEAN, when we look at Cambodia, Myanmar, Vietnam, Laos, when they say that they want to adopt IFRS 2020, right? Do they have the capacity to go there by 2020? And if I think we talk about the ratio of the accountants to the population, and we in Malaysia, we have adopted IFRS before, and we know that how much resources that we actually need to move there. So I think the question I think that I would like to pose would be how fast we can do that, either locally. So for example, countries like Vietnam, when they really want to move fast, how they're going to make sure that the talent is there to support that. And the next question would be regionally. As we talk about collaboration within ASEAN, so we know that those countries who are in need of accountants, how can we really supply those accountants to those ASEAN countries that are in need?
The opportunities is everything has two sides, right? The one side is the opportunities, and others is limitations. For the Rasmimi is talking about the how fast to build, right? To build the professions, accountants in order to serve or of the scarcity of the professions, and how to apply to the regions, and then how to facilitate.
The starting point had to be the fact that unlike the European Union, ASEAN is not really a one economic community with a one currency, a single currency, and complete free mobility of talent and resources. And I think that is the inherent limitation, unfortunately. And I think if you read the ASEAN ambition and the AAC blueprint, it is not our ambition to become European Union. There will always be a limitation that will be placed. Then therefore, whatever that comes with that setup, structural setup, where government or countries still value their sovereign rights on many fronts, we are not going to have a total free mobility of talent. We're not going to have a complete integration of a financial system, complete integration of immigration, taxation, and many other things. Because of that, there will always be that limitation. So, unless ASEAN decide otherwise, that limitation will always be there. The question, I suppose, therefore, is in this initiative that the ASEAN accountants are undertaking, what can we do to therefore work around this inherent limitation on mobility? Now, in practice, though, I must say that as a firm that supply this expertise across ASEAN, we have, to many extent, been able to work around these limitations, and then without failure. The only issue is it takes longer than probably what an EU firm would be able to do projects across the European Union. So for us, for example, we need to have a desk somewhere in Asia Pac, the region, just looking at managing work permits or risk of people flouting immigration laws, for example. So there's a lot of, if you like, administrative things that we have to take care of to be able to provide those kind of mobility. But nevertheless, I feel that with whatever limitations that we have, I think as an ASEAN practice, we've been able to benefit from it, when we've been able to share that knowledge and resources from countries like more developed countries like Singapore and Malaysia. And what's important is actually that transfer knowledge and skills to our fellow professionals in other parts of ASEAN.
The main limitations is like a structured limitation, right? And for example, another maybe regulations, maybe integration, immigration, so it's the main limitations from the practice as a biggest suppliers of the professions. Okay, and move to the Fern about the limitations.
I would just like to expand from a practitioner standpoint where I think the limitations stand as we see it now. I think where the value add is concerned, I think I'll just expand on Rasmimi's point on automation. A lot of the accountant's job on debits and credits can be automated. Right? There are a lot of solution providers can solve that problem for us. So the question on the basic foundations of accounting, you don't really need a certified accountant to do that. The software can do that. So if you move up the value chain for an accountant and moving forward with where the digital age is more prevalent, so a lot of decision making is expected to be real time. We will see a lot of accountants needing to go up the value chain to be strategic. So I think where ASEAN CPA could focus is to really value add on that ASEAN community platform. For example, how I see this is a value to me as an employee, to us as an employer it is, and it's also is a very good selling point, I guess, for an ASEAN CPA is the bridge between the different accounting regimes. For example, I think for a financial institution like myself, the biggest burden we have is on regulatory requirements. Right? More often than not, as a Malaysian accountant, I have no clue what's required by BOC, don't know what's BOT, what OJK wants in those regions. I think if ASEAN CPAs will graduate or to progress up that chain is to bridge that gap and to add value to that process. So I think that's where I think as a practitioner, as an employer, that would be a key selling point. But I do think Dato Rauf's point on the limitations of mobility and immigration. We do have mobility programs with CIMB, so we do move people around. It's always at the point of the regulators, depending on which industry you're in. I think for a financial institution like ours, it's really driven by the central banks in those countries, whether or not we can allow, for example, a Malaysian accountant to sit in a finance office in, for example, Indonesia or Thailand. Good to say that we have. So we have Malaysian CFOs in both Thailand and Indonesia. But I think the local requirements still requires them to take papers, right? So that is an additional hurdle that needs to be crossed. I do not know whether ASEAN CPA graduates to the level to say that it's exempted. That means the only hurdle that you need to cross is really immigration questions rather than needing to sit for a different paper, right? If you have that ASEAN certificate, for example. So I think from a practitioner standpoint is the limitations on the ASEAN qualification is whether or not it's comparable with the international qualification for like ICAA, ICW, ACCA, which is widely seen in Malaysia and Singapore. We have a lot of them. So it's really to add on to what's already there. So I think ASEAN is a very good franchise. From a regulatory standpoint, there are still some hurdles, not completely borderless at this point. So the good thing is because we haven't matured in that economic curve, there's a lot of opportunity to grow with that. So it's to mature with the leaders in those countries to accept certain arrangement or mutual arrangements.